Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Paul Heyman. And as your wise man, I'm here to bestow upon you the wisdom that you're listening to Punks Talk Wrestling.
1, 2, 3, 4. Welcome to Punks Talk Wrestling! On this episode, we talk about everything that's happened in the last 12 months as we wrap up 2024 with our Punks Talk Wrestling Year in Review! I am R.W. Hellborn, the PA Rock Prince, hailing quote-unquote from Philly! And I am one half of the crowd, which is one half of your Punks Talk Wrestling Inter-Universal Tag Team Podcast Champions of the world! Now, then, and forever by my side, 3,500 miles away in London, England. He is my tag team podcast partner. He is the other half of the crown, which is the other half of your Punks Talk Wrestling Inter-Universal Tag Team Podcast Champions of the world, Mr. Did You Know? Searching of Reels, the proper prick, C.J.
Did you know that this past year's WrestleMania 40, broke a record that I didn't know about until just a second ago? And there are more title changes at WrestleMania 40 than were any other WWE pay-per-view or PLE in history. 7 title changes, just 2 sets of tag team championships, new Intercontinental Championship, 2 new World Heavyweight Champions, being Drew McIntyre, then Damian Priest, a new Women's World Champion, and a new Undisputed WWE Universal Champion as well. So, 7 altogether. You could... WrestleMania... There's a little caveat to this. WrestleMania 35 did see 8 title changes, but only 6 of them took part on the main card. The others took part of the pre-show. So, as part of the main card. Huh?
Was it a Sunday Night Heat?
No, WrestleMania 35. It's only like 5 years ago. Just the pre-show.
Oh, right. Yeah, that was the U.S. What was that? One of them was the U.S. title, I think.
Yeah, probably the U.S. title and probably the mid-card titles. Let's face it, they weren't really taken much notice of back then, were they? Really?
Yeah, I don't think there was. That's crazy. I don't think there was an IC title match on the main card of WrestleMania 35.
Let me find out real quick.
That's crazy. Yeah, we need to. Yeah, hold on. That doesn't sound right. Something about that.
WrestleMania 35 pre-show was Tony Nese defeated Buddy Murphy for the Cruiserweight Championship.
Oh, the Cruiserweight title.
Yeah, and Kurt Hawkins and Zack Ryder defeated the Revival for the Raw Tag Team Championships. So those were the two title changes on the pre-show.
What were the? So what were the titles?
We had Becky Lynch defeating
Ronda
Rousey and Charlotte Flair for the both women's championships.
Right. We had Seth and Brock Lesnar opening that.
Opening the night. Yep. We had the Usos in a fatal 4-way.
Mm-hmm.
We had for the tag team championships, Kofi Kingston won the WWE Championship. Samoa Joe defeated Rey Mysterio.
Oh, right.
for the US Championship. Looking back at this is so piss poor. The US Championship match, 58 seconds.
Yeah, that
Seth
was
Rollins
bad.
versus Brock Lesnar, 2 minutes 30 seconds.
Well,
Like-
but the caveat to the Rollins Lesnar was that they fought outside the ring before the match started for like 5 minutes.
Yeah, true. But like, look at this. Like, this is WrestleMania 40, and if you count WrestleMania 35, and if you count the pre-show, that's 16 matches. 16 matches in one
Yeah.
night.
Dude,
And
that
then
was,
you-
yeah. WrestleMania 35 was ridiculously long. I mean,
Yeah.
I was there at that one too.
Oh yeah,
and
you
it
were
was-
there at WrestMania
Dude,
35.
it didn't end until almost 1:00.
But
Like,
look
it
at
was-
this, and then you got 2-night WrestleMania 40, no pre-show, 14 matches.
Yeah,
There were less matches on
In
a
2
2-night
days.
pay-per-view. Yeah.
yeah.
And not only
Yeah, they did it
that,
right.
you were in attendance for the 2 highest title changing WrestleManias.
Yep. Yes, I was.
I guess if you're in
Ching-ching.
attendance at WrestleMania, watch out. You're going to see a lot of title changes.
Yeah, man. I only go to the big ones. I
Yeah.
only go to the biggest of the big ones.
All right.
You gotta start paying me to come to those WrestleMania 41s and those ones that aren't zeros and fives.
Zeros and fives, yeah.
Zeros and fives.
They always kind of go big for the zeros and fives, don't they? That's true.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, who would?
As they should.
Round numbers. But how's about we talk about this past year in 2024 in WWE?
Yeah. The WWE, the way they've positioned themselves is just phenomenal to see. And I mean going into, I guess what we plan on talking about on this episode anyway is the 2024 year wrap up. I mean, this whole year is really what has broken WWE. They've broken their own ceilings, and blown out every record.
Yeah, I
don't
think
know
it's
how you.
I think it's safe to say that 2024 was probably the biggest, especially by numbers. Obviously, it was the most successful year that WWE has ever had, for sure.
Yeah. Now, I don't know how you wanted to go into talking about this. I don't know what notes you might have taken. I know we're gonna list off our.
We got our categories, yeah.
We got our categories, but talking about the year overall, I was thinking, what if we just ran through the major pay-per-views
Okay.
and kind of
And call that one episode? Because we're kind of trying to do two today, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. We could. We could make that a separate episode. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know why I was thinking that could be that could be it. That could be like more our
A retrospect.
the retrospect. Well, shit. Where's my notes that have the categories?
What do you want to do first then? The retrospect or the categories?
Let's go through the year in retrospect. You know what? I don't think I ever made my list.
Oh boy, maybe you can do it on the fly. I've got my.
I'll just do it.
I've got the
Yeah,
list,
you know
and maybe you can give your options on the fly. That might be more
Yeah,
fun.
I'll do. You know what? So let's go through the year in retrospect. Jeez, starting the year off in classic Punks Talk Wrestling style, a train wreck a train wreck from the beginning. Also by the way, I mean this is our well, how long is it? It's a year and a half now, almost.
Yeah, I guess around a year and a half, yeah. But technically, I was thinking before we started recording that we've now we're within the third year of as in like we've recorded this podcast in 3 separate years now.
Yes, 2022, 2020, or 23, 24, and now
25. Yeah, so pretty cool.
You know what? I know what's off. I know why I'm so off still.
Oh, there we go.
There we go. The first official generic seltzer from Giant opening. That's why. And here we go. Of course, followed up by the first official Icebreakers Ice Cube Spearmint Gum.
Remember this moment.
Oh yeah. That is our New Year's as I gotta get it to the perfect chewing spot before I continue. This is great content, guys.
This is what people listen for, honestly.
Mm-hmm. All right.
I guess the best way to do this is kind of go from pay-per-view to pay-per-view.
I think so. I've already got the Wikipedia page up for Royal Rumble.
Royal Rumble, same here. So
shout
guess
out to Wikipedia, support Wikipedia.
The big takeaway going into this event was obviously we kind of were expecting, although we weren't for sure, we didn't know for sure that Cody Rhodes was going to win to face Roman Reigns, but I think that was kind of likely what was on most people's radar. But this was CM Punk's first match back since his return, if you don't count the house show against Dominic Mysterio.
Right.
But yeah, his first appearance on TV in a ring.
I wonder if now, because they made such a big deal about this year's Saturday night, because that was essentially a Saturday night's main event. It was untelevised. It was Madison Square Garden. It was a time period at the end of the year where they would have done Saturday night's main event as a holiday thing, but they didn't televise it. And part of me now wonders if they did it that intentionally, especially with a match like this is literally CM Punk's first match, but we're not really even going to talk about it. And they did it intentionally just to get people on the internet to talk about it. Yeah. So that it builds up buzz for the Saturday night's main event returning this year. But this was also the start of all the insanity at the beginning of the year. Vince McMahon is out. This was the first WWE event to have zero involvement by Vince McMahon.
Wild.
Since the that happened. That was a year ago.
That's crazy, right?
That was a year ago that all that shit came out. And like you said, as we then figured out, Cody Rhodes did win again for the second time, making him only the fourth person to ever win back-to-back Royal Rumbles.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah,
And as a digibonus, I'm going to digibonus you.
Oh shit! How the tables have turned.
Oh shit! Yeah. Do you know Can you name the other three people
It'll
who won back-to-back Royal Rumbles?
Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Yep.
It will be who's technically won 3 altogether now.
Mm-hmm.
Shawn Michaels.
Yep, that was Austin was 97-98, Michaels was 95-96.
Yep. And then who the fuck's the third? Oh man, I should know this.
Right?
Yeah. Oh, Hulk Hogan.
Yeah, 1991.
Yeah. There we go. When in doubt, Hulk Hogan.
4 blonde-haired white dudes. I should be general, but no, I joke. But when I saw that, I realized they were also the guy. These were the guys
of their
the
era. They were all for sure the guy, and just like all
they
those
made,
people.
and Cody Rhodes is 100% the Hulk Hogan of this era. He's going to be he's the all-American guy who's gonna he's shaking hands and kissing babies, and everybody is gonna hate him for being so good, and he's not turning heel. They're not gonna turn him heel. I think they're gonna. I mean, and if they do, it's not gonna be for years.
It's gonna, if anything does happen with him, it's gonna be a slow burn, and at the end of the day,
yeah.
I mean, I don't know if everyone keeps making the comparisons to Homelander from The Boys, but he is,
of course, because
he is Homelander from The Boys. He just is.
Yeah, but I mean, yeah, I don't know. I really can't tell. I mean, I say I don't think that, but I've been known to be surprised on many of occasion.
That's right.
But what I mean by that, though, is I don't think you need to. Like, Hulk Hogan was a babyface, as far as his character.
Yeah.
Shawn Michaels was at that time also still a babyface. Even when it was DX Michaels, it wasn't necessarily babyface, but he was just like Austin was an anti-hero. Like, he was the one everyone cheered for, and Cody's the one everyone cheers for. And it's funny to see. It's just an interesting comparison that those are the only four people that have done it.
Yeah.
And it's been so long since it's been done as well. Because,
it's been a lot. I mean, the 90s we're talking.
Yeah, they were all They were all in the 90s.
Yeah, you're right. So yeah, I guess it's a surprise, to be honest. It's a surprise that John Cena never achieved that. You kind of think that with the run he had for all those years, you'd think that he would have won the Rumble a few times in a row.
And now he never will.
Yeah, no, yeah, you're right. Yeah, coming to his last year, that's a whole other kettle of fish right there. But yeah, this obviously set up. Obviously, Cody Rhodes won, and he goes into Raw. Obviously, he finishes the match, points up at the box. He definitely points at Roman Reigns.
Yeah.
Then we go to SmackDown. The SmackDown following the Rumble, and then he gives his championship shot away to The Rock in what then turned into some of the best fucking TV for 3 months straight.
The whole Cody Crybabies thing, everything that came out of that.
Yeah, the final boss, and
regardless of whether it was intricately planned ahead of time, excuse me. Woo. Extra, man, the raspberry lime was a little extra carbonation. It got me. Whether it was intricately planned and it was all a work all along, or whether they really did pivot because of the fan reactions online, it doesn't matter. That the beauty of it is that it was done so well that there's no way you can definitively tell me it was or wasn't all work. We know that they know how to work the fans, especially the online communities. They've been doing it brilliantly forever. And but this is also the year where the lines really began to blur again, and we just can't tell where anything that's really real or anything that's completely scripted.
Yeah,
like,
and that's great. And that's great
is.
that the WWE and wrestling in a way has gotten back to that spot, because wrestling, that was the charm of wrestling back in the 90s and 80s, that you didn't quite know what was real, what wasn't, because you couldn't get your shit off the internet. And now I feel like WWE especially have got so far ahead of the curve that even the internet can't keep up anymore. So
yeah, and I also love this is a year where people started to figure out that a lot of people were starting to get fed incorrect information on purpose.
Yeah.
Just to further, again, some people might be really mad about that. Some people might think it's hilarious. Some people might not care at all. But I think but I think it was very specifically done in order to continue to blur these lines. I mean,
100%, yeah.
You know, I know it comes out. We'll probably get to it. We never really talked about it in full, but like this year also, because we noted this was the first one without Vince, that McMahon Netflix documentary came out.
Yeah.
After we heard about, now that might be down the road. We should probably bring that up later.
Yeah.
But there's just so much more to that makes you realize, fuck, man. The Montreal Screwjob probably was all the work, just like I've always said.
Yeah.
You know, there is, you know, that's what I mean. It's just beautiful how professional wrestling works.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, we've gotten into so the beginning of this year kicks off
with a bang.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let me roll through into Elimination Chamber, and
yeah,
this was the first foray for the WWE into of this year anyway, of 2024, to doing one of their pay-per-views or PLEs in another country. So it was in Perth in Australia.
And I think pretty sure the first big event in Australia of this nature, right?
They've done one before. I can't quite remember what the name of the event was, but they definitely had done. God, I'll be here all day trying to find it. But they definitely did a PLE in Australia before, but I cannot remember the life of me what it was called.
You don't have to remember everything. It's all right. It's okay. It's okay, CJ Newman.
I don't know, but
that's why we have Danny the Brain Bowman. He'll correct us. He'll
yeah, exactly.
He'll note it.
But not much came out of this apart from obviously Drew McIntyre won the men's Elimination Chamber because he would then go on to face Seth Rollins for the World Heavyweight Championship at WrestleMania. And obviously Becky Lynch won her Elimination Chamber to go on to face who was the champion at the time?
She won it because
she went to face Rhea Ripley.
Right.
At WrestleMania on night one, which was a great match.
Right. And that was but Rhea eventually retained.
Yeah.
Against her, and then she was injured, and then we had then we put the belt right back on the man.
Yeah, pretty much. And then we obviously roll into WrestleMania, a WrestleMania that.
Wait, was it?
What?
Wait, hold on a second. Why do I have? Oh, sorry. I got. Yep, WrestleMania was next. There was a NXT stand and deliver.
Oh yeah, I know.
I was like, nope.
Yeah, WrestleMania. I mean, an event that. I mean, not for the reason that we were there in person, but I mean, we won't quickly forget it because of that. But I don't think we would have quickly forgotten it even if we weren't there. It was it's up there. I think a lot of people would say it's one of their favorite WrestleManias of all time.
Absolutely. I mean, it is by all accounts, it has to be considered at least top 3, if not the greatest ever.
Yeah, and it finished a story that, I mean, if it wasn't, let's just quickly go back to this Roman Reigns, Cody Rhodes, Rock
the fact
situation.
That they pulled it off in Philly too, it was so good.
I'm
proud. I'm happy.
Yeah, it's the fact this storyline. You can thank this storyline a lot for the success that WWE has had this past year. Because this storyline has had ripple effects through the entire company. It's affected other storylines. It affected the careers of Jey Uso, Sami Zayn, Seth Rollins, and you just keep going from there. By proxy, by it affecting Sami Zayn, it affected Gunther. It affected Gunther becoming world champion. It affected Damian Priest. It kept going, and I feel
everything. Kevin Owens. It affected Drew McIntyre. It affected It really did set a precedent for
how successful this industry can be, basically. But it also in the modern day.
People talked about how for a while, even our own Danny the Brain was like, I'm getting tired. I'm getting a little tired of the bloodline. I'm getting a little tired of it. Like they because that is what was happening. It was becoming so all-consuming. It was for a purpose. It was culminating into this epic final battle.
Yeah.
That has so much history, so much around it, and Cody Rhodes and Roman Reigns don't really even have any. The crazy part about it is it doesn't even have anything to do with them personally. It was just about the title, and that's really the last. This has been the first time in a long time that a story like this has been so purely just about the title, and has nothing to do with who has the title. Cody is just coming for the title. You know, it is. Yeah,
you're right. It has been a long time. Like, you know, a lot of people complain a lot about the value of championships, and I actually feel like this year we really brought back the value of championship. You know, with Gunther's Intercontinental Championship reign, and
there are a lot of people. There are certainly a lot of people that I in 2025 have determined just cannot communicate with in the IWC. I've given myself. I think I'm just not going to comment on social media, other than replying to people that leave us comments, because they're people's. I don't know, man. I just don't understand how some other wrestling fans view some of these things so drastically differently. I'll never get it. Anyway,
some people just aren't worth the time.
Yeah. They've got that's all it is. They're valuing something different, and that's all. That's all there is to it. Anyway.
Moving on, we go into Backlash, and again another international PLE. We're in France this time.
Backlash France, not Backlash : France.
Yeah.
I don't even know where that came from at one point.
Yeah, I think that was the year before, right?
Maybe it was.
Or Backlash : wherever the fuck, Puerto Rico, wherever they were the year before.
That might have been, that might have been where it was, because if you look at the next thing, it's Clash of the Castle : Scotland. It might have just been.
Yeah.
There's an inconsistency. There's in their uses of colons, and they need to clear this, and we need to get this cleared up in 2025. Triple H, come on, Paul. Come on, Paul. Get it the fuck together, Paul. Get your colons in order.
Get your colon, yeah. Get a colonoscopy.
Yeah.
Where are we? I've lost my
yeah. We're in Backlash. We're in France.
We're at my page.
We are at the greatest intro, Jey Uso's greatest intro ever.
Oh yeah.
Some of the most energetic and jealousy-inducing crowds of the year.
Yeah, and no one expected it. Like,
no.
Like France obviously don't often get.
Except everyone from France who was online be like, yeah, we be like that all the time.
Yeah.
we be like that for everything. Y'all just lazy.
Yeah, obviously everyone always goes on all the time about British fans and how, I mean, obviously the British fans are great, but shit.
At one point, the camera was literally
shaking,
like because people were bouncing up and down in unison, because everyone was such in unison that a stadium with steel, like reinforced beams and concrete was physically bouncing.
It's just fucking wild. What? Yeah, and it was a great show. I mean, there is literally no wrong answer for PLEs this year. Like every single PLE was just stellar.
And we got. I mean, this was. And if you look at how we have continually progressed. This was the first bit of new bloodline coming. All the new bloodline stuff started happening now.
Yeah.
Solo Sikoa and Tama Tonga showed up right after WrestleMania.
Yeah.
And
in fact, Tongaloa, I think, made his debut in this match in France.
Yeah, the street fight.
Yeah, he got himself involved. Yeah.
Yeah, that's how they defeated Kevin Owens and Randy Orton.
Yeah.
Man, and this at this point in the year, Kevin Owens and Randy Orton were tag teaming against the Bloodline. This is May. This is almost halfway in the year.
Yeah.
We had this was Jey Uso. That's right, because this was Jey Uso's World Championship match against Damian Priest.
Yeah,
that
it was.
Intro,
if there was ever a moment that he could have won it, it definitely was this match.
But that was so no. But I think they did it. I think they did it right. I honestly
they did it right. They did it right. I really, really want a world title to be in Jey Uso's future this year.
But you know what? But I'm glad they put him in the fight, and they saw exactly what everyone wants and what they know. But then they brought him back down, gave him the IC title, because if they did it, if they put him up to the World Championship first, and then any time he would win the IC title later, it immediately devalues the World Championship.
Yeah, exactly.
They're being extremely smart about making the titles matter again, and making them, especially making the World Championship on Raw.
Yeah, this relatively new I mean, a lot of people see it like the World Championship of old, but it is still a new championship. So, yeah, I mean, Jey Uso has just been the last couple of years. I just fucking love that guy, and they've done such a good job of building him. And like, just when you think his momentum slowed, he comes back again even stronger than he did before. So, I really just hope a world title is in his future. I don't suspect it will be the WWE. I feel that the WWE Championship at this point is such an unreachable goal. And as it should be. Yeah.
As it should be.
It should be, and I mean like on a real life level here. Like I feel like there are very few people on this planet that should technically be getting that title, and it really should be if you are the best in the business.
Yeah, there's a lot of things that tie into these that tie all these little things together. But I also think that what they did with Crown Jewel, we'll get to that. I think that was, you know what, I'll leave it for when we get to it.
Yeah.
But here we also had Cody Rhodes versus AJ Styles.
Yeah, which is an excellent
phenomenal match.
Yeah.
Which also set up Cody Rhodes as we need a good match for one of your first matches. Let's just make it a good match. It doesn't have to be about anything other than AJ Styles is mad and wants the championship. He's going to fight for it. We also got we didn't mention it during WrestleMania, but Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill have got the tag team championships.
Yep,
at this
yes,
point.
they have.
And they're making that super important. I think that was absolutely brilliant of them to start her out this way. We know that she ended the year still on the shelf for it, injured. I don't know if we're going to see her. As we're recording this, it is Monday. It is the Monday, January 6th of Night Raw on Netflix. So I don't know if we're going to see. So we're going to probably drop some predictions in here, and then we'll retroactively see how right we are. We might see her return tonight. Maybe not. Maybe she comes back at the Royal Rumble.
Could be the Rumble. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. But this was it was so smart of them giving her time and letting her be in a position where she could also elevate and make the women's tag division more relevant, because it desperately needed it.
Yeah.
You know?
Moving on to the next PLE, we had the King and Queen of the Ring again.
Oh wait,
what's up?
What did I do that's wrong here? Oh shit! I went. See, I'm getting confused by the new tiers of the Wikipedia.
Yeah, there's a lot of different. Look, wait till you get King of the Ring. There's like fucking 5 different options.
Yeah, I went to WWE in Europe chronology, which I love that they have it, but it. All right. Anyway, King and Queen of the Ring. Yeah.
Saudi Arabia. So
I love it.
we had something that people have been asking for years, and that's if the King of the Ring actually having a reward if you win it, and both the winners of the King of the Rings would then go on to face the world champions of their respective divisions. So
and they would win it, and both of them won.
Yes, Nia Jax. Yeah, both of these people. I mean, let's look at the facts here. Like, both the winners of both King and Queen of the Ring, it propelled their career to main event status.
Yep. This event was an amazing start also to a lot of other storylines. Liv Morgan beat Becky Lynch to get
the championship. Yeah. Which she still has now, so that's been a long reign. Sami Zayn obviously was still Intercontinental Champion at the time, and he was going up against Chad Gable and Bronson Reed.
Yep.
We had Cody Rhodes versus Logan Paul as well for the championship, which is again a great match.
Yeah, it was a great match.
Yeah.
No matter what you think about certain people in the match.
Yeah, and obviously Logan Paul's going to be on Raw as well, so that'd be interesting to see what happens there.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yep. Up next, we had Clash at the Castle in Scotland. Once again, we're like 4 pay-per-views deep, and they've yet to have one in America since WrestleMania. So, yeah, Scotland. So obviously we had Drew going up for the World Heavyweight Championship against Damian. Obviously Damian cashed in against Drew at WrestleMania, so this is kind of like the follow-up to that whole situation. And we had Cody Rhodes and AJ Styles in an I Quit match, or the very first match of the night, and that match was again a fucking banger, because I don't think Cody Rhodes and AJ Styles can have a bad match. I don't think it's quite possible.
Nope. It's not.
No, it's
and that
not.
was that, but you got to see what I found fascinating about this as well. They put Cody Rhodes in a position in a match where he had to be more than just a wrestler. You have to menace your opponent, and he literally scared AJ Styles into quitting because he was going to smash him in the head with steel steps.
Yeah.
So you got to see a first glimpse of that, like we said, the Homelander
version. Yeah, it's true.
That's a bit of evil. Like you're pushing him over the line to do things that a babyface shouldn't be doing.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if you saw his little backstage segment with Nick Aldis on SmackDown last week, but he was pretty ruthless there. He was like, I don't give a fuck who you are. I'm going to get he's like, I don't know if you care if you look like Kevin Owens. I'm going to come after you. And that's it's pretty ruthless. Like the way he was talking, it was like, and like he was like kind of shit talking Nick Aldis as well. Like, it's like,
and I think they're going to, they're really pushing the when is Cody gonna. This is more of it. He's breaking, in a sense.
And you know what would be great as well is like the perfect test for Cody is when John Cena's back. We know that these two are going to meet in the next year. Like they have to, and when that happens, that would be a great time to really show some cracks in Cody Rhodes, because it would be like, I'm the guy. I'm the American guy, like not this guy. Like he's the guy from the past. And even though they're both faces, I feel like it's a good opportunity to show those kind of Homelander style cracks.
You can and you can also there certainly are a lot of ways that you could portray it. Yeah. As we say. How professional wrestling is always a mirror of our society. There's a lot of blurry lines going on all over the place. So it's it makes sense. It makes sense if they're pushing it towards this. I don't know if they're gonna pull the trigger and have him go full heel, because we don't have anyone else. We don't have anyone else right now in that role. Oh well, I guess except for John Cena. Maybe that's the thing. Maybe the time for Cody to be heel is while John Cena's back.
Yeah.
So maybe I kind of worked myself logically around it. Cody Rhodes turns heel this year. There we go. I'm gonna.
There you go. You just worked yourself into a shoot, my friend.
I
brother.
shot myself into the work.
Real quick. The WWE have just announced that the 2026 Royal Rumble will be held in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia.
Oh shit!
So
Saudi Arabia's going to get the first Big Five.
That's one of the first ever Big Five to be held outside of North America.
So mad. They're going to be so
Yeah, the
mad.
Internet's going to be so mad. And apparently reports are that Raw
so
tonight is going to be 3.5 hours long, which would make it the longest Raw of all time.
Of all time. That also makes sense. So it's starting
both of
8
those
PM.
reports come from our very, very own Danny the Brain Bauman. He just sent us those links in the chat.
Nice.
There.
Shout out to our very own Danny the Brain Bauman for always being on it.
On the pulse.
On the pulse, even while we're recording.
Next up, we have Money in the Bank, which was in Toronto, Ontario, Canada. So again, we have not been in America since WrestleMania. This, I was, going into this, I was I was pumped. I really wanted Jey Uso to win the Money in the Bank. He didn't.
All did.
That's okay. Drew McIntyre won it, which I don't think anyone really expected, but pretty cool that he did. And this was excuse me, I'm the one burping now. We had
later on we recognize why. Of course, the storyline with Drew and cashing in.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
But we also have, more importantly, which since we're not talking, we didn't have an episode dedicated to the first 3-hour SmackDown on USA, but we'll mention it here. This is where Tiffany Stratton wins her Money in the Bank contract, and as we know, cashed it in successfully on the first SmackDown of the year.
Yeah.
The first 3. What a phenomenal fucking year. I mean, also this was Tiffany Stratton first entered it was her first entry in the Royal Rumble at the beginning of the year. She debuted on SmackDown after that Royal Rumble.
Yeah.
She's only been, so this was like literally her year, her year.
Yeah, okay? her first year on the, I mean, you're right. What a fucking year. Like,
God.
She debuted in the Royal Rumble, right? Am I correct in saying that?
Yep.
So that's wild, man. Like, and honestly, like, she's great in the ring. She's great on the mic. She's got such a well-developed character already.
Yeah.
Like that. I mean, and she's super young as it is. Like,
she was able to get people to hate her and then pity her.
Yeah.
And love and root for her.
Yeah.
Within the span of 6 months, because when she first, until she really got involved with Nia Jax, which I guess was right about this time.
Yeah.
And this is July, so this is the middle of the year. Within 6 months, because you just hated her. She was annoying. She was, but oh god, yeah, just the amount of work she put in. This back half of the year, and
she totally deserves, and it's I'm intrigued to see where this title reign goes. Like, does she hold it now to WrestleMania? Like, does she? Who knows? I mean, we'll see where it goes.
We also get the slightly now increased Bloodline 3-on-3 a 6-man tag match, because now Tama Tonga and Tonga Loa's here, but Jacob Fatu has come. Jacob Fatu showed up just earlier that week, right?
Yeah, maybe just early, that week or that month, a few weeks beforehand,
So we've got now the Bloodline Solo Sikoa, Jacob Fatu, and Tama Tonga with Tonga Loa.
Yeah.
And we've got Cody Rhodes, Kevin Owens, and Randy Orton. So we've got all these guys battling.
Yeah, that group is definitely not together anymore. Let's put it that way.
Holy shit! Like, After that,
we go into SummerSlam.
Holy shit! We just got to SummerSlam now.
Just got to SummerSlam, Cleveland, Ohio. First
SummerSlam, our pay-per-view, our 1 year anniversary.
Oh that was our 1 year
podcast.
WWE back in America for their first PLE since WrestleMania.
Yep.
Cleveland. In Cleveland. And will be potentially the last ever one night SummerSlam. Next year we're moving into 2 this year even coming. It'd be 2-day SummerSlam, I believe.
Yeah, and what a crazy SummerSlam, because we've got, first up we've got the definitive Dirty Dom and the Bloodline turning on Rhea Ripley.
Yeah.
Which was fucking crazy.
Yeah, that was cool.
Then
we had Braun Breaker taking the title from Sami Zayn.
Yep. LA Knight defeating Logan Paul.
Yeah.
For the U.S. title.
Yeah.
Nia Jax defeating Bayley for the
championship. Yeah, everyone winning the championship. Fuck, I didn't realize how many championship changes were at this PLE.
Every single champion lost except for Cody Rhodes against Solo Sikoa at the end. Yeah. Yeah, how crazy is that?
Gunther won the world title against Damien. And the crazy thing is, Gunther, Nia until last week, and Liv Morgan still all had their championships until last week.
Yeah.
So that means Liv Morgan and Gunther has, been world champions now for quite some time.
Yeah.
But
the Drew McIntyre CM Punk with Seth Rollins, guest,
as a special referee, that was a great fucking match.
Their storyline is still coming. I have to imagine Drew McIntyre might show up for this on Raw too, because fuck him. He still hates both of those guys.
Yeah, I think his focus right now is the Bloodline. I think.
Yeah, maybe.
With Seth
right.
and CM Punk,
he kind of done with them.
There'll be a definitive ending, but I definitely see this in like a best of 3 situation with Punk and Seth. It doesn't just end tonight at Raw for sure.
No, he'll get something. We've definitely not seen the last of CM Punk versus Drew McIntyre.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, sure. that'll roll back around at some point for sure.
Yeah.
But obviously the biggest thing to come out of this is the first appearance from Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns returns after losing at WrestleMania.
Yeah.
In the main event in the Bloodline Rules match of Cody versus Solo.
Mm-hmm.
And what a moment it was. Half an hour match. Fucking epic as fuck.
Yeah, holy shit.
And we roll straight into Bash in Berlin, and off we go again.
Yeah, new pay-per-view.
New PLE, and back out of America once more.
New PLA, yep.
Just again proving WWE's global outreach this year has just been fucking unbelievable. Like they've never had a year like it. They've had an occasional PLE outside the United States, but this year was country to country to country. It's just fucking insane.
I think they had more PLEs outside of the country this year than they probably did in the last decade combined.
You're probably right. Yeah, even if not the last 2 decades, really. To be honest with you.
Yeah. This we got once again we get Cody Rhodes opening the show. Yep. Him and this is the first meeting of the reluctant Kevin Owens.
Yeah, this is the hesitant. I don't want to hurt. I don't want to attack or injured. Yeah, because Cody had an injury in his arm or something, and he could have taken advantage of it, but he didn't.
Yeah.
So.
Oh no, was his arm or was it his knee?
Yeah. Now you're saying it, I feel like it was his knee. Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway,
Either way.
he didn't want to take advantage of the injury. He lost Kevin Owens lost the match because he wasn't being Kevin Owens. He was being true to himself.
Yeah, pretty much.
We've got a continuation of Bianca and Jade being dominant in the WWE Women's Tag Division.
Yeah.
Putting they're winning, but they're putting everyone over by making everyone seem like every other team is deserving, is relevant, is capable.
Yeah.
But also, yes, Bianca and Jade, of course it makes so much sense that someone had to be taken out for them to be, a little less dominant. And, as we see what's going to happen later on in the year.
Yeah.
We got the CM Punk Drew McIntyre strap match.
Yep. Which CM Punk won that one.
Mm-hmm. So now we're 1-1.
Yep.
Of course, we know that it was Finn Balor that also interfered, costing Damian Priest the championship against Gunther before. So now we've got Damian and Rhea versus Dom and Liv in a mixed tag match, which was good for what it was at the time. They had to keep.
It gave it just. Some unfinished business was settled in a way. But, saying that, Damian Priest and Rhea Ripley are still in a rivalry with the Judgment Day, even to this day. So
right, they still are. But, Yeah, it was the least important match of the night. I think it was.
Yeah, I would agree.
I think it was. I think the only thing. My main thing is mixed tags are always a little odd for me. Like,
yeah, they feel a little bit disjointed at times. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
there could have been other things. I think that story would have been. I think it didn't need to be on the pay-per-view. It could have been, but I get it because you want the people in Berlin to see the people that they want, and this is the way. And this is the way to have them see everybody they want. So for that, it makes sense. More than. And then we had and hey, you got to or in German it'd be something else. I don't speak
something
German.
In German.
Something in German. I'll figure it out by the next time we get a bash in Berlin.
And obviously, main event, we had Gunther defeating Randy Orton in the main event. Bit of a hometown hero situation.
God, 34.5-minute match almost.
Yeah, epic. Crazy. I mean, Randy Orton, this stage in his career, 44 years old, I think he is.
And this was because they because Randy was on Raw, but they made it happen because of the King of the Ring final where Randy's shoulders were definitely off the mat, but he was still counted out. So that's how they wrote in this match to make it work, which it did perfectly.
Yeah.
Next we're in October now, October 5th.
Yeah. Bad Blood, first Bad Blood since 2003 or so, and I mean, fuck, we roll straight into CM Punk, Drew McIntyre Hell in the Cell match. What a fucking match! I mean, Jesus Christ, this match was. I mean, we'll get to our best of 2024 episode in the next episode, but holy fuck, what a match! We had Nia Jax, Bayley, Damian Priest, Finn Balor. That's still going on till this day. Rhea Ripley versus Liv Morgan on the episode.
But we got the shark cage. We had Mysterio.
Oh, the shark cage
moment.
Which
great. I love whenever they bring that out. It's they don't use it often, but they use it well.
Yeah.
They've always done it. They've always done it right.
And then we had
tying in that little bonus though of Rey Mysterio being afraid of heights was just kind of, was just great.
And then we had Roman Reigns' first match back, so he was teaming up with Cody Rhodes. The hell
talk about over. Bad blood.
Yeah, right. It's almost like they named it that on purpose.
They just wanted to make it sure that's all about blood.
Go up against Solo Sikoa and Jacob Fatu in what I remember being a great fucking match.
It was a great fucking match. GFF.
And then that's where The Rock, that's the last time we saw The Rock. He turns up at the end.
We did.
Just want to make a quick reference.
Yeah.
I don't know if you noticed the way The Rock did the 3, 2, 1, the way he counts with his fingers.
Yeah.
On SmackDown this past week, Paul Heyman did the exact same gesture when he said 3, 2, 1 with his fingers as well.
Oh, he did.
Because The Rock did it in a very particular way. He did 1, 2 on his middle and index, and then he made the 3 with the little finger, the ring finger, and the middle. Like he kind of changed. And Paul Heyman did exactly the same thing, and he'd obviously done that on purpose to make you start thinking. But
wow, I did not catch that. That's some good eyesight there.
It's a very good little touch there, but that's the last time we saw Rock. But The Rock did announce on social media that he's going to be on Raw. So obviously, by the time this episode comes out, you'll know exactly what the fuck happened. But we don't know yet. So
we'll see if we're right. We'll see if we're surprised.
Rolling on from Bad Blood, we go, I think, into Crown. Yep, Crown Jewel, Saudi Arabia, back out the United States once again. This is where we had the Crown Jewel Championship.
So good. Those titles. Oh, come on, man. Those titles are just. They are the most professional wrestling.
They definitely
looking
are that,
titles ever.
They're something. So we had Cody Rhodes and Liv Morgan walking away with the.
I mean, sport. I guess I should say they're the most sports entertaining looking titles.
Yeah. And they obviously they got their rings, and I look forward to seeing where that goes in the future with the whole.
Yeah, man, I love it. I can't say that I don't. I love that I love that they're making it something unique
Yeah.
to itself. Because here's the thing that I think, we might have brought it up. I don't remember if we brought it up when we talked about it originally in the previous episode. But one of the things to remember is the title belt is just a representation of the champion. The belt is not the title. The title is the title you earn by winning the match.
Yeah.
The belt is a representation of a physical representation of your title. As in Sir King of Reels is your title. We could make you a ring. We could make you a belt.
It's
we
true.
Could make you
To signify.
We could make you a jacket. It could be a Sir King of Reels jacket. To signify a physical sort of like in D&D, any magical
It's the
item.
Ulafala.
Yeah, it's the Ulafala. That's why. Do you remember? Did you hear for the 2 days where everyone was going fucking? They were going insane. They were going more insane than I've ever heard the internet widening community ever go, because someone said something about the idea of making a tribal chief championship title. Which was never a fucking thing. That was, one of the things. It was either was something that someone said to really just feed. Let's see if someone will believe this shit.
Yeah,
But,
it's
they were
hold my beer moment.
But I think what they were what was probably what was happening was people were discussing the Ulafala in a way as a championship because the tribal chief is a title.
Yeah.
Just like WWE Undisputed Champion is a title. The belt is the WWE Undisputed Championship title belt. It is so any of these things, what is it on NXT? They have the Heritage Cup. The Heritage Cup is just as much a title. It means just as much. Same thing as the trophy for the Andre. Any of those things are a representation of the title of greatest Royal Rumble winner, Braun Strowman. He has the title. He's the only one who has that title. And the physical representation of the title is a green belt that looked like every other belt, but who cares?
Actually, no, it looked like the UK Championship.
Oh, that's right. It looked like so it's actually better.
That was a cool title.
It
There is
really
a lot
was.
of talk, actually, that obviously it's going to be Kevin Owens versus Cody Rhodes for both the Winged Eagle and the WWE Championship at
yeah.
Royal Rumble, and I'm totally expecting a new design at that event.
I don't know. I think we should just totally expect that they're going to bring the Winged Eagle itself back, because if they went through all of this trouble after we've been talking about this for fucking a decade, and then they give it to us for a minute and then give us something else.
No, I think what they've done, if they do change the design to we get a brand new design, and obviously the designs lately have been fantastic, with the tag team championships and everything. If we do get that, it's a happy medium. It's like, all right, the fans wanted back the Winged Eagle Championship, and they gave them that for quite a few months. Honestly, I'd completely understand if the WWE didn't want to bring back an old design, because they want to evolve. They want something to represent an era.
But it was also Cody. But Cody Rhodes brought back the old IC belt too.
He did, but I think in this day and age, hell, let's face it, they brought back the Winged Eagle Championship, and I guarantee you, any money, they've made a lot of sales in their shop by bringing that championship back for a couple of months. And I think that's all you need to do. You need to just remind people, hey, remember this fucking cool as shit championship belt? Here it is.
Yeah.
That'll make the sales for a couple of months. Now, you've given the people what they wanted for a couple of months and brought back the Winged Eagle Championship. I think when you've got the WWE Championship, that championship going all the way back to the fucking 60s represents each era. If you look at the spinner belt, if you look at the Attitude Era kind of round belt,
yeah, you do. You're right.
The undisputed.
They need a belt for the era.
You need a belt for the era, and the one that Cody currently has is representative of the Triple H era, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And I think now it needs something. It needs a new fresh coat of paint. And what you need to do is just someone out there has hopefully designed a version of the new WWE Championship that's a mix between the Winged Eagle and the current design.
Yeah, and Triple H, if you need help with that, if you haven't figured it out yet, I mean, I'm sure you probably have, but if you haven't quite figured out what the design is, there is someone that designs extremely good looking belts. That's me.
That's you. Yeah, if you haven't looked at
our
the logo,
look at our logo.
Just look at our logo. That's all you need to see.
Our logo is based on the Winged Eagle
and the Ramones.
And the Ramones.
Yeah. And what else? I mean, it's our name.
Anyway.
Punks Talk. Anyway, so then we go on to.
So we've got War Games. War Games.
Then we got War Games. Fucking excellent pay-per-view. Last pay-per-view of the year. PLE. Whatever the fuck you want to call them at this point. I keep saying pay-per-view because I've been conditioned to say it for the last 25 fucking years.
It's really hard.
It's difficult.
Yeah.
We saw Shinsuke Nakamura with a brand new gimmick and defeated LA Knight. And I don't know if you saw it, but he wrestled at Pro Wrestling Noah in Japan this past week.
I didn't see it, but I saw that it happened.
Yeah, and if you don't watch anything, just watch his entrance because it's fucking cool as fuck.
Yeah,
he's got the whole Japanese garb on, and he's got the mask, and he looked just cool as shit. Just go and watch his entrance if you don't watch anything else.
Yeah.
We had Gunther, Damian Priest. We had, we had the fucking Bloodline Civil War, which everyone had been calling for such a long time, with CM Punk involved. And obviously in the run up to this, we had CM Punk getting a favor from Paul Heyman. We don't know what that is.
Right.
And that's it. That kind of caps off the year. And then going through all this, I've just kind of, like we've spoken about so many times before, like, I really feel like we've ended 2024.
What are you talking about? We had. Oh wait, no, that was NXT's Deadline.
Yeah.
No, I mean, I guess Saturday night's main event kind of. We did wrap that. Did we talk about Saturday?
We did talk about that.
That was last episode, so we really don't have to go into that. But that was.
Yeah, but I think the big thing that's come out of this year for me is I'm looking around at the whole chess table here of all the wrestlers, and I'm like, we're in such a good spot now where it's like the waters are murky. There are no faces. There are no heels. You could literally agree with what Kevin Owens is saying. You literally could, because you could totally take a standpoint and go, I can totally see where you're coming from. Like, you could do the same with CM Punk, with Seth Rollins, with so many of these kids. Drew McIntyre. You could totally agree with Drew McIntyre. Even though he's an arsehole, you can kind of be like, every heel has a fucking motive now. You're actually like, I can see.
They're logical, and it's more than just. I can
see why you're angry. Yeah.
Yeah, it's more than just. I'm a bad guy, so I'm gonna do bad things because I want
it's
the title.
Like, oh yeah. I'm just gonna insult the hometown that I'm in. Whatever.
Yeah, Oh, you know what else? Just as a quick another mention to the interview, the Triple H interview. When they were talking about the Netflix deal and how people were speculating, does this mean that it's going to be like, they're going to be foul language and everything? It's like, no, it's still PG. He literally said this is still going to be family-oriented television. It's still going to be PG.
Yeah, what he has, I think I did read earlier. What he said basically,
which of course I think is the right
things like F-bombs and blood are useful, just like they were during the Rock and Cody Rhodes stuff. But if you use them
sparingly,
sparingly. If you use them constantly, AEW, they don't have any significance. They're just you expect it, and you become numb to it. But fucking hell, WWE, they used a pile driver for the first time in like 20 years, and everyone lost their collective minds. That's how you fucking do it. That's how.
And you know why? And you know why? Even though other places use pile drivers every week. The reason why is because we're actually invested, because we know why it is banned in WWE. We understand it, and we are a part of the WWE universe, and we're playing along. We are truly invested.
Yeah, we're playing our part as the character as well. In a way, the crowd is playing a character. Like, we're totally going along with all this shit.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah,
But,
man.
yeah, I mean, like, this year we saw blood twice. We saw it when The Rock beat down Cody Rhodes next to his bus, and we saw it in the Drew McIntyre CM Punk match. Twice this entire year. If you go and watch an AEW, if you go review the last year of AEW, I'm pretty sure. Well, there was blood. There's literally this past week on Dynamite. For fuck's sakes.
I mean, I know that.
We know about that.
Yeah, but this was also. I mean, talk about the year wrap up. This is also the year of the most tribalism between fandom, which you can look one way or another at it. We've always been on the same side of the same kind of idea. I understand why people like other things, and that's fucking rad. I love that you love the thing that you love.
Yeah.
What I don't tolerate is people saying that their thing is better, and that my thing is terrible because of things that aren't relevant, because of arbitrary ideas that they have on what they like and don't like, and that it's really hilarious now when you see how the landscape is shifting and turning, and there are other places that are getting a lot of criticism, and honestly, I believe rightfully so. And there are people that are all upset that they're being criticized for things that are very, very blatantly, obviously, can be criticized for. When those were the people that 5 years ago were constantly berating the thing that we've never stopped liking. We've never stopped liking it, whether or not I've really, really liked it, or whether it's been better or worse. I've never stopped being a fan of the thing, and we deal with this all the time as lifelong. I'm gonna say this, as lifelong WWE fans, because we are different. WWE fans there is a different realm of someone who is, I'm a fan of WWE. Yes, there's other stuff, and yeah, some of it's good, but I just don't care. I'm a fan of WWE. There's more than enough. They give me everything that I want. I don't need to worry. Stop telling me to go watch something else when I'm perfectly happy watching the thing that I'm watching.
Exactly, yeah. And, like, especially in this day and age, WWE, especially with Triple H in charge, he's on the pulse of professional wrestling as a whole enough to give you everything you kind of want on it. Even on one episode of Raw. And, like, that's not me shitting on any other company and what they do. It's just like, that's cool.
I don't shit on the company as much as I shit on the fans of the company trying to tell me that their shit is gold.
And honestly,
and when I don't
AEW, just to call a spade for a second, like, yeah, there's some questionable, like, booking situations and storylines and whatnot. That's fine, but to be honest with you, like, the biggest problem they have is their fans, and a lot of the booking decisions being made by Tony Khan is because he's going with what the fans want, and the problem is
it's completely reaction. That's why
there is nothing wrong with going with what the fans want, and I see a lot of the time the WWE go with what the fans want.
Yeah, but doing it without thinking,
without the fan base, whatever the fan base, but the AEW fan base, you're listening to this small minority of the internet that are AEW fans, and you're listening to them. You're listening to the wrong people. There's a reason your viewership and your attendance is slow, like going down, and it continues to do so, is because you're listening to the wrong crowd of people.
Wrong people. You can't.
In fact, one thing really.
You can't just give everyone what they want immediately. That is what you do. That's what you do with a spoiled little brat. Is
Yeah.
and that is what essentially Tony Khan is, and how he's treating his entire fans. He's treating everybody like spoiled little brats.
But you know what? A big thing you sent me that.
If you like the matches, you like the matches. That's fucking great. Like, but we've seen it before.
Yeah.
Every single time. And the fact that what I've always said and what I've always been hot about is they made it a point to make their identity about being against WWE. They were they weren't the alternative. They could say they're an alternative, but they positioned themselves as WWE's bad. Here's all the reasons why they're bad, and so we're doing the opposite.
They spent years and years in promos, like every time that the WWE was the fact that they would bring the WWE up to begin with is one thing. They would just constantly bring them up, but every time they would, it was in a negative light. And I one thing that really resonated with me.
Eventually, people got tired of it. Eventually, people were like, dude, just shut the fuck up about it.
Yeah.
And now I see it on Threads, I see it on Instagram, I see it on Facebook all the time. You've got these people that just refuse to believe that's how it's being perceived, when no, man, this is but I came to a realization before I came to a realization before we started recording, and I'm glad we kind of got to this point. I wanted to vent a little bit.
Cool.
But all of this goes back to what I have always said, and that the creation of AEW has been a complete work. That because why there's no way Cody Rhodes, as someone who supposedly created this idea and created this company, a founder of AEW, a member of the board, and he walks away literally at the best possible time before the ship starts taking on water. Like, the way that they set up, because what always happens, WWE needed competition. And I really do believe that somewhere along the lines, whether they might not have been working together financially or legally or in any way other than hey, you know what? Somebody should get behind Cody Rhodes and maybe back him. Maybe back this idea of creating promotion, because creating your own competition doesn't work if people know that you created your own competition. But all of this has worked out beautifully for WWE in the long game. Even the shit finally finished the McMahon documentary, by the way. I don't know.
Okay, cool.
Did you watch?
I never even got around to watching it to begin with, so I definitely need something I need to do at some point.
Listen, the only conspiracy theories I subscribe to are conspiracy theories surrounding professional wrestling. I think the Montreal Screwjob was one of the greatest works of all time. There's
get your tinfoil's hat out, everyone.
Yeah, man. There is nothing about it because it benefited as best as it could. It benefited all people in the long run. You know.
Maybe not Bret Hart.
But I think, what didn't benefit Bret Hart was getting kicked in the head by fucking Goldberg. Like, once you're gone, once you're not under the WWE, he didn't have the protection of the WWE, right? Like,
shit, that was good.
I mean, you can't help the mess that he walked into. But I've always, you know what I mean. I've said this all the time. By screwing Bret over in Montreal, it set Bret Hart up for the best possible entry into WCW. It gave him so much more. It gave him so much more heat going into WCW when he showed up, because he just got screwed out of the title in his hometown. Otherwise it's just Bret Hart is in WCW. Like, it benefited him, and I really believe that I'll never not believe it. I'll never
I know
not
you
believe
won't.
it.
I know it, and that's why we all love you so much. All right,
Yeah.
let's wrap this episode up because I really need to go to the toilet, and
All
we've got
right.
another episode to record.
We got
to pull the
we
curtain
do.
back.
And I gotta figure out what I'm even. I gotta figure out my list for the next episode.
Yeah, there's that too.
Oh fuck. So yeah, let's wrap it up. This 2024 was fucking amazing.
Yeah, one of the best years from a guy. I mean, I've been watching wrestling since 1997. You've been watching it since what, 1987?
Yeah, probably about that. Yeah.
Yeah, so
before that, I was probably watching
before
it
that.
in
Yeah,
the 85,
and
84.
I would go down and say this is one of the most fun years of professional wrestling I've ever watched.
Fuck,
So.
I've been watching wrestling for almost 40 years.
Yep, look at you.
Yeah, because it was definitely. I found out about wrestling like it was WrestleMania 3 by the time I. Yeah. So
And
probably about that.
how old are you?
I am. How old am I?
No, were you
47.
when in WrestleMania 3? How old were you?
I was 6.
6. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
kind of I was 97.
Yeah.
I was 8 years old when I found out about wrestling.
Yeah.
So-
I mean, that's the right amount. That's the right time. That's how WWE has always been, except in the Attitude Era. You know,
Yeah.
they have been
Yes,
focused.
pretty
they've
much,
been
yeah.
focused on.
Well, you say
getting
that
kids-
I was 8 years old in 1997, and
Well,
that's
that's true.
when
It
I
was
got.
the Attitude Era.
Yeah, that was the Attitude Era, and that's when I got into
Yeah.
wrestling. My dad didn't give a. Well, my dad watched it with me, so my dad made questionable parental choices, but it all worked out in the end. It worked out in the
it
end.
did.
Me and my
It
dad
certainly
would
did.
constantly watch the Cactus Jack Triple H match from the Royal Rumble, and like
Yeah.
at the time when I would watch it with him as a kid, I was like, I don't know. Like, neither of us really made mention of the blood and the barbed wire and the thumbtacks. And now, years later, I'm like, that looks kind of fucked up for an 11-year-old kid to watch. But
Yeah, man, I remember. I mean, the wrestling that I remember watching with my dad early on was like, and this was the era like, Dusty Rhodes was in the WWF. You know, he was
Right,
you know,
yeah.
he was coming to the ring with Sapphire, and I thought that was wild as a kid in the in the 80s. Interracial relationships were. Not that there was a relationship, but I didn't know. I was a kid. I just saw a guy and a
yeah,
girl.
he just saw yeah.
I didn't even think about like that, but it was just there were things there as a kid that I was like, I don't see this anywhere else.
Yeah,
like,
that's fair. Yeah, that's totally fair. Yeah.
But I thought Dusty Rhodes was awesome. Because he was positive and he was happy. You know?
Yeah.
Like, so like people that talk about, I know there's a lot of people that will say shit about how Dusty Rhodes may or may not have been treated as a performer in WWE, but I'll tell you what, man, I was a kid and I loved him. They made Dusty Rhodes palpable
say
for kids.
Don't get me wrong, Dusty Rhodes was great in like the NWA and WCW and stuff, right?
Yeah.
Of course he was, right?
But he was
a great
was older
character
by that
and
time.
pulled off great promos. But I think if you're saying that was the only good version of Dusty Rhodes and that the version of him in the WWE, the polka dots and Sapphire, was not good, then you're just trying to be cool.
Yeah.
You're not cool. Like
Yeah.
he was a good performer. Just like
He was
Cody
an
Rhodes was
amazing
great.
performer.
Cody Rhodes,
Yeah.
just like Cody Rhodes, he was great as Stardust. He was
Yeah,
great
he
as
was.
the
He
undashing.
was
He was great as
absolutely
dashing.
fantastic
And
as-
he's great. And he's great now. He's just a
He
good
is
fucking performer.
horrible. I hate him. So no, I mean I still my feelings of Cody Rhodes. My feelings of Cody Rhodes are he's exactly who he's meant to be. You know, he's definitely Cody Rhodes. I am not the target for Cody Rhodes, but I know. But
Yeah,
I
you're not the
appreciate
target
him as
market, but you know.
No.
But
I get-
sometimes
I
it just
totally get
resonates. Jay Uso, I
Yeah.
am definitely not Jay Uso's
I'm
target
not,
market, but
I'm
I'm
not
the
Jay
biggest.
Uso's target, but I fucking get it.
I get it.
Yeah, fuck. I'm not really the target market for any of them at this age. All right, we're
Yeah,
done.
you're
All right, let's finish this episode. Oh, we still got to do the intro for this episode. Shit.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
All right. Well, anyway, we'll just pause it. I'll edit this somehow. All right. Well, you do that. You know what? I'm gonna go take a bathroom break too.
Right, sweet. Be back in a bit.
All right.